Hey, rich friends, it's your girl Cha Cha reporting live from the Money Mantra, and I'm back with another Forex education video. The reason why I like to post is to help as many people as possible become independent and profitable traders. So if that's you, you're definitely in the right place. If you find this video helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment to let me know what you learned, but more importantly, share this video with another trader. Now, if the videos aren't helpful enough, I do offer personal mentorship, and you can find the information for that down below in my description box. So in today's quick video, I'm going to be breaking down this NZD USD trade that I actually took on September 25th, 2023, and I shared it with the students that I am mentoring. Now, in this trade, I did not recommend market execution like I usually do, just because of the way this market has been consolidating. I knew it would take some time, so I recommended a buy limit at 0.59500 or lower, and I set a TP of 40 pips, TP1, TP2 of 60 pips, and TP3 of 80 pips. Now, for my stop loss, I started out with 40 pips, but as the trade progressed and got a little rocky, I did end up adjusting my stop loss to 60 pips just to stay in the trade. So we're going to go ahead and see how this trade actually played out, because it's been 4 days now. And here are the results. This trade finally hit TP1, and it really did take long enough. So I'm actually going to be breaking down what I did to get into this trade and what really happened. So first, I'm going to back it up to my entry candle, which was sometime on Monday afternoon. Now, this is not usually the time I trade, but I just happened to be looking at the market at this time. And because all of my confirmations were met with my strategy, I pretty much decided to get in. So on my strategy, I use 4 different indicators. You'll see this blue line, which is a 50 EMA, and this purple line, which is a 200 EMA. These lines are trend lines. Typically, when the candles are above, the candles will use the EMAs as a trampoline, and every time they come back into this area or near it, it will buy. Versus when the candles are below one or both of the EMAs, the market will tend to sell. So the first thing I noticed was that the candles were above not only my 50 EMA, but also my 200 EMA, which was a really good sign. And it was my first 2 confirmations to take this trade for a buy. The next thing that I looked at was my momentum indicator, and I noticed that it was positive. And usually when the momentum indicator is positive and or facing up, that for me is another bullish confirmation. Now that's 3 confirmations so far. I like to say 3 confirmations are good, 4 confirmations are great, and 5 confirmations are fantastic. So at this point, I did have enough information to get into the trade. But since I have my stochastic on my chart as well, I wanted to go ahead and see what it was telling me about the trade. Now, again, if the stochastic is facing up, for me, that is going to be a bullish trend. And also, if both of these numbers are above 50, that usually signals to me that the market is going to be buying. So I had all these things mixed with the fact that the market had previously tapped into this demand zone, which is why I set my entry point down there. I didn't want to get in that market execution because I knew the market would come back to this area because it had done it so many times, as we can see here. So we're going to play this trade out and see what happened. We can see after a couple of hours, the market actually did tap into that demand zone just as it was predicted to do. And that's really what I like about supply and demand. It's pretty straightforward. If you can find an area that the market has previously tapped into, there's a high probability that the market will revisit that area again. So that was a good sign. We were actually in the trade at that point. But then things started to go a little backwards. The candles had actually crossed below the EMAs. And I was getting a little nervous here. And this was actually the point where I decided to make my stop loss a little bit lower than the typical 40 pips that I usually go. Now, at this point, another thing that I did notice was that my EMAs were about to cross. And something that's really important that I've noticed more so in recent times is that when my blue EMA crosses above my 50 EMA, the market tends to buy. And when the purple EMA crosses above my blue EMA, the market tends to sell. And I'll just go back and show you guys some examples of that. So we can see here, the purple crossed above the blue and the market was selling. And just right next to it, so we don't go too far, we can see the blue crossed above the purple. And then we did reach a new high there. So that's what I noticed. I didn't want to get out the trade. I just decided to adjust my parameters. And that actually was a great call because you can see how close it actually got to my stop loss. The EMA is crossed, which was a great sign. That was a confirmation that I needed. And as you guys can see, this is where my TP1 was actually hit. Now, as you can see right now, the market is only about 10 pips from my TP2. So after a week of waiting for this trade to develop, it is just proof that you should hold, don't fold, and that patience really pays. So I'm going to see what happens by the morning. Hopefully TP3 will be hit and I will have secured 80 pips in this trade. But if I only get the 40 or even 60, that will be great because it was not a loss. So I really hope that this video was helpful in helping you understand how I think about getting into my trades, what my thought process is, what confirmations I look for. If you want to learn more about my strategy, you can watch my video, Improve Your Strategy in 5 Minutes, or any of the other videos that I do have on my channel. But if this was helpful, make sure that you do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss when I drop another video. So that is all for today. Until next time, Richmonds.